everyone, my name is Ofelia Fuentes and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I created this beautiful glam fall look for the holidays. I wasn't sure at first if I was going to go a little bit more on the natural neutral side or if I was going to go all out in glam. Clearly I went all out in glam, right? But I feel like this look is so beautiful. I love how it came out. So yeah, if you guys want to keep watching and see how I created this look, let's move on to that. But before that, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell so you know every time I post a new video. So yeah, let's just move right into the video. Okay, so today I'm going to be using this palette by Morphe. It's the Fierce by Nature palette and it's my first time using it, so I'm actually really excited. So we're just going to go ahead and prime our eyes. I'm using the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This step is super important because it's going to help your eyeshadow pop. So I highly recommend it. Do not skip this step. And I'm just going to take a color. I always usually do this as a base, so I'm going to use this color right here. It's just neutral color, and we're just going to apply that on both of our eyelids. This is just a base color. I'm going to be using a nice fluffy brush. I'm going to go ahead and take this Morphe M503. Okay, so for the next color I'm going to be applying is going to be this brown color right here. Oh, okay. Nailing there. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm going to use that color right here. And we are using a smaller fluffy brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that on the crease of my eyes. Like right here. So we're just going to take that cap and then right above here. Don't worry, none of this has to be perfect. You kind of always go back at the end and just use a fluffier brush and just clean out any edges. Right now we're just kind of setting the tone of what we want to do. It helps if you grab the brush kind of at the end. That applies less pressure on the brush, so it will make those, it will avoid to make those really harsh lines. Okay, so now I'm taking a really nice fluffy brush like this one. This one is from e.l.f. and it's clean, there's nothing on it. I'm just gonna go over all that right here and I just want to buff it out. That color that we're going to use, I'm going to go ahead and take this small mini crease brush and I'm going to apply that on the crease and on the outer edge. We're going to apply it right here and bring it up just a bit to the crease. And then right here as well. Okay, and now for my next color, we're going to go over here and we're going to use this really dark brown one from the palette. Now we're going to bring that in right here in the corner. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and cut the crease. If you're somebody who doesn't like to do that, that's totally fine. Just go ahead and skip that step. But personally, I like to do it because I feel like it just makes the eye look even better. Okay, so for our next shade on the palette, I'm going to use that really pretty coppery color as our topper. And we're going to go ahead and apply that with our finger. Okay, so now that I have that on, I really don't like how that corner turns out, and that happens. Sometimes you're doing something, you're like, oh, that's not working out. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this color. Okay, so then using that burgundy wine color, I just went ahead and applied that in the outer corner of my eye with a fluffy shader brush. So now I'm gonna use this eyeliner from NARS. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and just pencil in my waterline. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with this lighter brown right here that we had used earlier, and I'm gonna apply that right under it. So basically what I'm trying to do is just smoke out this color, kind of so it connects with the colors on top. Now I'm just taking again a clean fluffy brush and just cleaning everything out. It's always really important. Now we're just gonna go ahead and apply lashes. The lashes that I'm gonna be wearing, they're from LA Splash from Golden Gatsby, and the ones that I'm gonna put on today is gonna be Gold Digger. Be right back. Okay, so now that we have lashes on, I'm just gonna go ahead and just clean up any edges. I usually always do this at the end. So I just kind of take the same fluffy brush that I was using, and again, just kind of darkening anything that still needs it. If anything needs to be a little more dramatic. So that's usually what I do before I move on. So kind of buff the bottom part out. I just like to clean everything up. I kind of want to still have that base color that we had originally used peek through. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that. I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush. So I'm just going to blend that together and kind of have it peek through. I know this is like really dramatic. Kind of bring it down here as well. And now moving on to highlight in the inner corner of the eye. Any highlight will work just fine. Okay, so that's pretty much for the eyes. So now we're gonna go ahead and finish the rest of the face. So let's move right into that. For foundation, I'm using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 5.5. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply the foundation with the brush, and I'm using the one from Real Technique. Okay, so what I like to do is just kind of wet a little the brush. Do like 3 pumps of that. Oh, and I failed to mention, I didn't use any primer. I just applied my moisturizer. I've actually been doing that lately. For a long time, I haven't been applying primer, but if I do sometimes, I like to use my Tarte Silk Canvas. It's one of my favorites. But for today, I just applied moisturizer. I just like to go ahead and take my beauty blender and just kind of press all that product in. That really just gives the foundation a really nice finish. I actually use 2 concealers, and they're from my favorite, the NARS Radiant Concealer. And I use one in, I forget what it's called. So the first one I like to use just because it has like pink, peach undertones for my under eyes. And this one is the CREMA CATALINA. And then I just use a little bit of this one, and this one's CUSTARD. So I first like to apply this one, CREMA CATALINA, and put that all over. Okay, now that I have applied the concealer and I put in all the areas that I want to brighten out my face, I'm going to go ahead and use a cream contour from Fenty, and I'm just going to apply that in any areas that I want contoured. And now using that foundation brush, we're just going to go ahead and blend out that contour first. Okay, now using a smaller concealer brush. This one's from Sephora. It's my favorite. I highly recommend this one. I can't stop recommending it and stop using it. I love it. And all I do is I like to wet it and then damp dry with a paper towel and then blend everything out. I promise it leaves the concealer flawless. So now that I blended out all my contour and my concealer, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my nose. So I go ahead and use the same concealer brush that I used to blend the rest of my concealer, just because I really like how this one blends out the, why can't I talk? I really like how this one blends out also my nose contour. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and bake, and I'm using the Too Peach Perfect Powder. Okay, so we're just gonna ignore that and pretend like I did say the Too Faced Perfect Powder. Oh my gosh. So pretty much we're just gonna go ahead and bake anywhere that we applied concealer. Okay, so I've been baking for about less than 5 minutes, and I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that powder. And right after that, just to again make the face look hydrated, I'm just gonna apply some setting spray. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some bronzer. This one is from NARS. It's right now my current favorite, and I'm just gonna use that and bronze my face where I already had contoured with the cream contour that I used. Okay, so now I'm just applying blush in the apples of my cheek, and this is an eyeshadow cheek palette that I received in my BoxyCharm, and the palette is called Evening Glamour, and it is from Blink. Okay, so using a fluffy powder brush, we're just going to go ahead and remove any harsh lines, and we're going to reapply some setting spray to lock everything in. Okay, so now blush is done, contour is finished, and now for the last part, to choose our lip color. So I'm such a big fan of nude, but I don't know. This is such a pretty look, and I avoided this time using any other highlight on my face because I feel like the eyes kind of are already doing it for me. It's already like whew, super glam. So I was thinking maybe I could do a slightly nude color, but not as nude as I normally do, or maybe we can go with a little bit of a darker rosy color. So I don't know, we'll see. Let me go ahead and choose that. So as I had mentioned, I had a hard time choosing what I wanted to choose as the color for my lips, but again I went into the more nude neutral sides but in a darker color. So for my lip liner, I chose a lip liner that I have from NYX. It's waterproof and it's the Glide On Stay On. Ooh, I don't remember the exact name, but I'll link it below. And for my lipstick, I chose a powder one that I also have, but it is from Wet n Wild. And this one was actually my first time using it, so that was very exciting as well. So yeah, that's what I went ahead and did for my lips. Okay guys, so this is a finished look. I absolutely love it. Hopefully you guys loved it too. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye! Okay, so this is eyes. So now I'm just gonna go ahead, well, to finishing up the eyes. Now, wait, ugh. Okay, so for foundation, I'm using the Giorgio Armani. The Giorgio Armani Luminous Milk Foundation, Silk, not milk, from this Silk Foundation in the shade 5.5. I think that's the one it is. Yeah. Who's messaging? I like to kind of wet it. Well.